Hello everyone, and warm solstice and full moon blessings from me. This is the day after the full moon, a day or two after the solstice, summer solstice in the northern hemisphere and winter solstice in the southern hemisphere. And the energies have been pouring in. What I mean by that, it's just from every sort of point of view, things have felt rather amplified. Between the full moon and the solstice, things are feeling really vivid. Dreams have been very vivid. People are experiencing a lot of intense and heightened emotions. So depending on where you fall in these various different categories, I hope that you are making time for self-care and for some soothing activities over the weekend to help you integrate the last few days. Welcome to my channel, Health and Wellness with Emma Mentel. If you're new on here, thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Please comment on the videos that you find helpful and supportive as well. So for those of you who've been watching my last few videos, you will know that I did a long fast this week. I really enjoy my long fasts, and very specifically as well when I time these fasts around something like a solstice or a full moon, and really using my intentions and the theme as a symbol of dedicating the fast to physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual journey. The various health journeys that I've been on for quite some time have been so interesting, but in particular the last 2.5 years with using fasting. So this week was another beautiful experience for me. The fast was really easy, and breaking the fast last night, late yesterday afternoon, felt very simple and easy, just like a transition into some form of normality. If you can hear the wind outside, I was going to delay the video, but unfortunately I don't think the wind is going to stop blowing until much later. So unfortunately it might give you a bit of background noise. So from my fasting point of view, things have felt really simple, very easy. My dreams have been incredibly vivid. My energy has been good. My blood glucose was good throughout, with an average blood glucose of about 4.4 for the last 7 days, which is really great. I mean, absolutely perfect. It's a really optimal reading for me. But I just wanted to touch on a few of the points that I felt were significant for me and maybe for you as well. Depending on your health and healing journey, whether it is around weight loss, around resolving inflammation, around insulin resistance, or any other kind of health challenge that you might be experiencing. The energy of the full moon and the themes are still very much around, so that you can use this weekend to maybe write down a few notes, to really dedicate some time to becoming crystal clear about your intentions for your healing journey, to become really very clear about how you want to feel. If you can imagine what it would feel like as if these health challenges didn't exist, how would you feel in your body? How would you walk? How would you act? What would your behavior be? And so I thought I'll just use a few of the words. I'll read to you a few of the words that I mentioned in my online meditation on Thursday night as part of the Solstice offering. So for some of us, this solstice and full moon has felt like a superpower boost. I have certainly noticed that. So if you can be intentional, if you can be really deliberate with how you're choosing to transform your health, if you can be really intentional about what it is you're wanting to shift or change or leave behind, what you want to embody meaning in your body, how would that feel? The energies have been so amplified. It's almost like it's like a superpower boost and charge that can be very supportive. For example, for me with my fast, I felt like my energy was really good. I felt like what I was working with and using intentions and I don't like to call it a goal, because then it feels like something that you have to do. But I felt really good and energized. So it has felt like a superpower boost to me. The themes around self-care and nourishment, and I think that is so apt. Self-care means what are the habits that we can choose from that will be supportive for our well-being on a physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual level. What does nourishment mean to you? And I often talk about this word because nourishing behavior, nourishing choices are not just about what you eat and drink and how you sleep and how you exercise. It's also what you choose to think, what you feel most of the time, and how you nourish yourself on a spiritual or a soul level. For example, meditation or prayer or becoming aware of that other part of you. I've been using all the instruments that I have in my home office this week to soothe my nervous system. I've been lighting candles. I've been very aware of signs from nature or the universe, whether it's a sunrise or a specific bird. I had a beautiful bird visit my garden earlier this morning, and it felt like a visit from spirit. It felt like there's your messengers saying, yes, we are here. We are here to support you, whatever it is that you may need. Of course, there are days where it feels very alone and very uncertain, but today I've really felt that things have been very supported. I even had a butterfly fly in earlier while I was typing out an email to a client for some notes. A butterfly, it might be a moth, quite brown in color, but it flew in from the outside into my office and came and sat on my leg, landed on my leg, and then moved on to the floor. And that felt like such a reassuring visit from spirit. So the words I would like you to consider for this weekend as part of your journal, or just how you are approaching your healing journey. Transforming or transformation. That, of course, is a process. It's not like we can be here today and the very next moment we can be someone completely different. Sometimes healing is a whole process. If you think about the butterfly, you know, that example of the caterpillar and the different stages it has to go through to become the butterfly. Healing is not always linear. I say that to my clients often. Sometimes healing can feel like a downward spiral. Sometimes healing means that there are a little bit of, there are a few detours. There are a few delays along the way. So transformation, as long as we can start to form a clear picture about how we want to feel, we can then have a reference for what needs to happen in order for that to continue. Transmuting. Transmuting is an interesting term that I've been using in my energy healing work. And that is where, for example, there is something that feels really heavy or dense, and how we then use light or energy or breath or intention to move that energy into the light. So transmuting, some people might also like the word alchemize. Alchemize is how we change the structure of something from this to that. It might require breath, it might require a kind of movement, but we are certainly being encouraged to transmute that which feels heavy and to make it feel more light. And then another word that or term that I thought was so appropriate for this full moon and solstice is getting stronger. If you are on a healing journey, regardless of your starting point, fitness doesn't happen overnight. It might mean that you consistently show up and take small steps. If you want to get to the top of the mountain, you have to show up consistently. There has to be some discipline, and we are being asked for our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies to be more dedicated to healthy choices, something that will help our body feel stronger. For example, if you are thirsty, are you going to drink a coffee or a glass of filtered water? If you are hungry, are you going to eat ultra-processed foods, or are you going to make a delicious home-cooked meal or a salad? If you need rest, are you going to take an energy drink to keep going, or are you going to honor your body's need for rest or sleep? So getting stronger, giving our bodies the kind of support it needs to be able to integrate more light, to feel better, to feel stronger, will require of us to perhaps make healthier choices more often. And so when I'm faced with the urge to eat sugar because I'm feeling overwhelmed, if I can catch myself and I can just ask what would be the most loving, what would be the most kind choice right now, it might mean that I just need to make myself a cup of tea. It might mean that I put on some music that feels soothing. We are so bombarded all the time with sugary foods at the checkout counters in supermarkets and stores that it can be really difficult for somebody who's got a weakness with sugar to avoid that. And very often when I do my long fasts, I think about that when I go into a store and I think, oh my gosh, all I can see is sugar and chocolates and sweets and all the terrible foods, nothing that is going to be good for my well-being. Everything that's going to keep me addicted, that's going to keep me trapped in that cycle. So those three words, transforming or transformation, transmuting, changing the structure of one thing so that we can get something else, being an alchemist, and then getting stronger. There's obviously a lot more if you look at the astrology and if you look at all the other energies, but these are the three words that I felt for me this week have been really significant and supportive of my fasting journey. In my last few videos, I've also used sound. This week I felt particularly drawn to sound because it felt soothing, but it's also something I use to transmute or transform. If I feel heavy, if I feel like I need to lift the energy in my workroom or my home, I often use sound, whether it be music or something like the chimes I'm going to use. I also sometimes use a crystal if I feel that I need to just be aware of some kind of support. I have lots of crystals, but this one is on my desk. I've shown you before in some previous videos, I might use a drop or two of the essential oil. These are the Star Child Global Essential Oils. As a sense, I'll put a few drops and inhale that. I might light a candle as a symbol of my dedication to my healing journey. And then sound is the other thing I've used. So just to end this video, I'm just going to use some sound again. So if you would like to take a few deep breaths in, exhaling anything that feels heavy, you can just listen to the sound, and maybe you've got something at home that you can use. So the first one is this bowl. Sometimes when I use sound like this, I will move it to the area where I'm feeling heavy. So it might be over my heart, over my pelvis, it might be by my throat, it might be above my head. So I can sometimes walk around a room and chime that a few times. For me, it is something that feels like it transmutes heavy energy. Then there's these chimes. Again, you can use these over the area where you feel a sense of heaviness or anxiety, for example, over your heart. And you can just move it around, clockwise or anti-clockwise, or up and down. This is all part of us feeling renewed. Renewal was one of the other words that I felt was so part of this week's energy as well. And then last but not least, I'm going to use my Koshi chime. Looks like that. I find it so soothing. I'll just sit back. A beautiful soothing sound. So if you're feeling anxious or restless, using sound like this or using something like music can feel calming and soothing. So that's my update for my fasting week, solstice, a full moon. And I hope you'll have a beautiful weekend wherever you are. Please like this video, please also subscribe, and I look forward to journeying with you next week.